Hello everyone, my name is Ankur Giwala. I am assistant professor of SROF SR Rotary Institute of Chemical Technology of Electrical Engineering Department. Today I will start the introduction of Scilab software. Whenever we do not have a MATLAB, so at that time we can also use Scilab software because Scilab software is the open open software. It can be used by anyone, so either by download the Scilab software in the laptop, or we can also use all the facility of this software online by using Scilab Cloud. So first of all, uh, let's talk about our basic subject of interconnected power system. In interconnected power system is deal with the matrix mathematical equations mathematical equations in terms of trigonometric equations, then simulations and modeling of stability. All the things can be done with the help of this. So let's start with the Scilab introduction, experiment number 1. So first of all, read the aim. What is the aim of this experiment 1? Introduction of Scilab software. Then objective. Now we will learn about different type of commands for a Scilab software, because we have to solve our problem of interconnected power system with the help of Scilab. So before going to solve any kind of problem, before what is Scilab, that we have to see. So let's talk about it. So what are the objective? To learn commands of a Scilab software, to write down a script program of a given problems in Scilab software. So in practical 1, we will see the fundamentals of mathematics like addition, subtraction, division and multiplication, how it can be done. Then different type of operation of matrix, that also we will learn, and different type of also mathematical simplification like trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, and simple arithmetic functions, how can be simplified or solved with the help of Scilab commands, that we will see. So before going to start any kind of this, we will first of all check our knowledge of pretest, that is called pretest. So inverse of matrix A. Matrix, suppose you are given a matrix, so if you want to find out the A inverse, so it is given by adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Then ceiling value. Now there is a concept of ceiling value and floor value in the mathematics. So if I want to find out the ceiling value and floor value of 3.14, so first of all you have to see that the 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 given number is lies between which numbers. So 3.14 is lies between 3 and 4. So the ceiling value is considered as the upper value. So upper value is considered as 4. And floor value is given by a down value. So down value will be of 3.4 is 3. Now see the another question, the value of log E1. So log E1, which is considered as 0. Now let's see about fifth question. We will get the solution of this question in the Scilab. So log 9 plus log 5 minus log 2. The answer you can also find out with the help of calculator. So it will be 3.11. Answer is A. Now we will see the introduction of Scilab. Scilab as a calculator, you can see here addition can be done A plus B, subtraction can be done A minus B, multiplication can be done A into B, and division A divided by B, and X means the rest is given. Suppose A raised to B is given, so its command is A raised to B, or like 2 raised to 3, which is equal to 8, so it is given by 2 raised to 3. Now mathematical functions, you can see here, this kind of mathematical functions also we can use in the Scilab. So if I want to find out cosine function, so it is given by cosine and x. X is the function of degree. It is considered in terms of degree, same as it is sinusoidal function, tangential function. Then if I want to find out cos inverse, so for that I will use arc cosine, then sine inverse arc sine, and tan inverse arc tangent. For exponential function, I can use exp into x. X is nothing but your given values. Then log x is, it is the natural logarithm, log 10x, that is common base of 10 algorithm. Then absolute value, we can also find out the absolute value with the help of Scilab. So we will use absolute in bracket x. We can also find out signum function, maximum value, minimum value, ceiling value, and floor value. Then round value, round means suppose you are given 3.57, so its approximately round value is 4, or in other words 3.57 you can also convert it into up to 1 decimal, so it can be 3.6. Same remainder means whenever 4 divided by 3, so whatever the remainder in the division, that can be considered as the remainder. So 4 divided by 3, the remainder will be 1. So it is given by REM in bracket x. Then if you want to find out phase angle, so angle in bracket x, so you can able to find out x phase angle. And conjugate, that means complex conjugate is given by, suppose a plus ib, or 3 plus j4 is given. So if you will use conjugate a plus 3 plus j4, so you will get the answer 3 minus j4. There is a minus j, there is a sign changing of j can be possible through the complex conjugate. Same as it is if you want to find out matrix, so size of A, suppose you are given a matrix A, we have defined A, so its size is given by size of A, that is for matrix R comma C. You can also define by the column total number of row and total number of column for size A, so it will facilitate you that size of matrix. Then R is equal to size of A oblique 1, that means suppose you have defined A, so it will define you the row. R stands for row, and 1 means first row, and C size A 2, that means from matrix A I can also find second number of columns. So Scilab will give you the second number of column. Then n is equal to length of A returns, it will give the length of either row or column. Suppose my matrix size is 3 cross 4, so it will give the length of maximum value 4, which is considered as length of matrix. Same as it is matrix containing, whenever if you want to find out zero matrix, so that can be done zeros n, so it will give you the 0 means 3, so it will give you 3 cross 3 matrix of 0, and zeros mn, so it will give you the 3 cross 3 or 3 cross 4 matrix also you can define, that is called zero matrix. Once mean gives the value of one unit vector or unit matrix. This is the square matrix, first one. This is the a part of square matrix, that is m cross n, it will give you the m cross n array. Then size of it will give the size of given matrix A. So let's start with the given problem. Suppose that you are given, first of all, how the Scilab will be start. Let's start with it. First of all, open Google, then write down Scilab Cloud. All the things you can do in mobile using the Chrome browser or any other browser. So Scilab on cloud. So click on it and open it. So you just see here, you can write down your code at the left hand side. After completion of code, you can just execute. So it will give the result here. So let's start. Let's start to solve this given exercise. This is also considered as post test. So I am given the values of A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3, C is equal to 4, and D is equal to 9. So I am just copy paste this value in the Scilab. Now I will execute it. So it will store this value. Scilab will now store this value. But before going to this, we have always used CLC. CLC means clear the screen. It will clear the screen. If you want to check, just see here. I am just remove this command and now I will execute. So it will clear your result screen. Now I will once again apply it. So Scilab have accept the different variable. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 3, C is equal to 4, and D is equal to 9. Now I will execute first one. A is equal to B, A plus B. So now if I want to find out this 4, so I will also write down this here. First is A plus B. Now I will execute A plus B. So what should be the value of A plus B? Just see here, 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So you will get the answer. Answer is equal to 4. Now I want to find out minus A minus B. So I will put here minus sign, A minus B. So you will get minus 2, 1 minus 3. So that will be minus 2. Now A multiply B. So A multiply B, 3 into 1. So you will get 3 answer. Okay. This side you can get the answer. Now A divided by B. A divided by B. 1 divided by 3. So you will get 0.33 or 1 by 3. Let's check. 1 by 3 itself 0.33. So in this manner, you can get the answer. Now, let's talk about the second exercise. Now, if you want to find out the square value, if you are given the summation and square value, so I will now find out this value, A plus B square and C plus D square. So now, if I want to find out A plus B whole square, so square is given by A plus B and square can be given by caret 2. Caret 2 means raised to 2. So just see the value A plus B. Sorry. So the value is 16. Okay, I forgot to remove A by B. Okay, so now just check the answer. 16. A plus B. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. Whole raised to square. 4 square will be 16 value. Okay. Same thing. Now C plus B. Now I can also take A plus B plus C plus D, C plus D raised to 2. Okay, now let's check the answer. A plus B square is equal to 4 and C plus D 4 plus 9. 4 plus 9 is equal to 13, and 13 square is 169. 169 plus 16. So you will get 169 plus 16. 185. Your answer will be 185. Just see here. We got the same answer, 185. So I hope you are getting my point. How it can be done, that you have to practice your own, because in the exam you have to perform this practical with the help of this MATLAB. Sorry, Scilab. This time you have to perform with the Scilab. Now if I want to find out a plus b divided by c plus d, so what you can do, you just copy paste it. Now just see here, a plus b divided by c plus d. So what should be the answer? 4 divided by 13. Okay, so we cannot find a plus b divided by c plus d. So it cannot be possible. But it is also possible something like this. You can use double a different variable which is equal to a plus b, and b another variable which is equal to c plus d. And now your answer is, let's take another variable, cc is equal to double a divided by double b. So you will get the answer. You will get the answer. Now I will execute it. So just see here. AA is 4, BB is 13. So you will get 4 by 13. It is nothing but the 0.307. You can also cross check this answer with the help of calculator. You will get the same answer. So now we are moving to another thing. A plus b under root. So I want to find out 1 plus 3 under root. So it will be 2. So let's check these values. For square root, we can also use SQRT double A. This is the first method, SQRT of double A, square root, or in other word, under root also can be expressed as, so AA caret 1 by 2. 1 by 2 raised 1 by 2 means 0.5. Now just see the execution. Both the answers are same, SQRT square root and AA raised to 0.5, that is 1 by 2. That is also answer the same. So now let's go to the another thing. A plus b divided by cube root of c plus 3. That means c plus d raised to 1 by 3. So let's a raised to 0.5 divided by bb raised to 1 by 3. So I am writing here. I'm also doing this first time in the Scilab 1 by 3. And I can also write down here instead of 0.5, 1 by 2. Let's check the answer. What should be the answer? Now I will execute it. So 0.85. The answer is same. So I also got this answer. Now, if I want to find out this thing, a plus b whole square whole raised to cube. So now what will I do? First of all, okay, so now if I want to now find out uh, this a plus b whole square raised to 3. So first of all, I will write down a plus b, which is equal to double a. Double a is equal to a plus b. Then bb, which is equal to a plus b, a plus b raised to 3. So it will be cube. Okay. Sorry, I can also direct write down here a plus b raised to 2, 2. And I will use here directly double a. So just check this answer. Okay, fine. Now a plus d, same as it is. At the denominator 4 into pi. Now pi, I will take the value of pi is equal to 3.142 or 22 by 7. You can take any value. So I am taking here cc, which is I am directly taking the multiplication of 4 multiply 3.142 multiply b, c plus b, c plus b. Now bracket is over. Now first of all, let's check the answer whether you will get. Okay, I got also c. Now what we have to do? dd, which is equal to bb divided by cc. In this way you will get the answer 11366.737. So in this manner you can execute any kind of mathematical and you can get the simplified answer very easily. Now I'm going to directly question number 8. Rest of all you have to practice now. Now question number 8, sine pi plus cos 2 pi. So let's check this value. Instead of trigonometric, now I will use the value sine pi plus cos 2 pi. So I am now also remove this and sine pi means 180. So sine 180 plus cos 2 pi. 2 pi means 360 degree. So in this manner, what we will get now? Minus 1.08. Okay. In other words, we can also write down sine 3.1 whole to sine pi and cos 2 pi. 2 pi means 3.14. That means 6.28. So what we will get the answer. Let's see this. This is the correct answer. If you will put 180 and 360, so it will consider this value as a radian value. But if you will see here, sine sine pi means, and cos 2 pi. Cos 2 pi is equal to cos 0. Cos 0 is equal to 1. And sine pi. Sine 0 is also 0 and pi is also 0. So 1 plus 0, it will be 1. So this will be your correct answer. 0.99. Okay. So that you have to check here whether in bracket whatever you are writing down, that is in terms of radian, not in terms of degree. So you have to take care about this thing. Now, okay, logarithmic function. So how can I finding out this logarithmic? This is the same question I have asked in the pre-test. So just check this. Pre-test, log 9 plus log 5 minus log 2. I told you the answer was, I told the answer is 3.11. Let's cross check this answer with the help of Scilab. So just see here. Okay, I made the mistake one. Uh, we have to also define our logarithmic in bracket, logarithm in the bracket functions. And then you will get your answer. Now first, once again, execute it. So I will get 3.11. Okay. So whenever you are executing logarithm function, so function is always defined in a bracket, something like log x, log, let's see here, this cos x, sin x, all the values we have defined with the help of bracket. Just see here, log x. It is also sorry, it is also defined in terms of log x. So now we will move to the matrix. In interconnected power system, 95 percentages are depends on the matrix operation. So first of all, the thing, how can I enter the matrix? That is the first thing. So that we have to learn with the help of this. So I have also given the questions related to matrix function. So let's now just see here. Uh, Matrix A is given, but you can see here 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 is there. So how can you define this function? So first of all, I will enter this matrix A. So for matrix, For matrix, now I will define in this manner. A, matrix A is there, so A, which is equal to, now I will use square bracket. Square, first of all, 1 by root 2. So 1 divide by root 2. So I will use 2 caret 0.5. 5. And now I will put the bracket here. First of all, check this answer, then we will go for the next component. Let me check this answer. Now I will execute it. 0.707, 1 by root 2 itself 0.707. So now I want to find out another component. So I will just 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 both are same. So what will I do? Now Control C, and after spacing I can also enter another component A12. Then by entering the space, now I can enter another value. Now if I want to now enter this 1 minus 2, so for this I will now put the semicolon here, and 1, then once again space, then minus 1 by 2, so it will be minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 itself 0.5, so 0.5 minus 0.5, and minus 1 by 2 once again space, and minus 0.5. Now once again I want to enter in the another line here, so once again I will enter semicolon, once again 0 space, now 3 by root 2, so 3 divide by 2 raised to root 2 is there, so 0.5. Now I will take this value in a bracket, and at the end minus 3 by 2. So I will use, I will copy paste this. Now I will execute here. Just see, matrix is we have defined 3 by root 2 itself 2.12 and 2.2. Okay, same as it is, I can also define another matrix. So now same as it is, I will also define this. Select tool, matrix B, Control C. So this is matrix B, and I will execute. Matrix B is given. Okay, so now another function. Now I will execute each and every command directly if I want to find out adjoint of A. So I am now describing all the commands in the one script file, Control V. If I want to find out a dash, so a dash is given by function a dash, then inverse of a is defined by inverse of a, then b matrix inverse is given by inverse of b, determinant of a is given by determinant of a, determinant of matrix b, rank of a and rank of b. Now I will execute all the commands in the one script file. So this is matrix a, matrix b, then a dash. A dash is nothing but the adjoint of a. So 0.707, 707, 707. Just see here. Same thing. And a dash means minus 0.5 can be converted into 0.5. Just see here 0.777. So it row become column. For a dash means a dash is nothing but the adjoint of a. So row become column and column become row. Just see here. 0.777, this row is converted into column, then 1 minus 0.5 minus 0.5, it can be converted into column, and 2.12 minus 2.12, 0, 2.12 and minus 2.12. That means a dash is nothing but the adjoint of a. Now inverse operation can be done by inverse of a. So this is the answer of inverse of a and inverse of p. Then determinant of a, you can find out each and everything by using these commands. Okay, so that's it. After that, you can make the conclusion for this experiment. Now, what should be the conclusion? What should be the conclusion? So conclusion is given by directly. Conclusion is given by, with the help of Scilab, we can get the mathematical, trigonometric, as well as different type of matrix operation using Scilab. Okay, so I am just stopping here. I hope you are having all your problems are clear. And suppose if you have any query, you can contact me on ankurgeewala@srict.in, or I am also sharing this on in a Word file here. I am also sharing this. You can also contact me ankur.ghewala@srict.in. I'm just larger this thing. You can also contact me on my email ID. This. So I hope you have your all the basic introduction with the help of this. If you have any doubt, you can contact me on this mail ID. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, so I am leaving now.